My name is Clara. I live in a small yellow house. My house has a little garden. I like my garden. I plant flowers there. Red flowers, blue flowers, and yellow flowers. My street is quiet. Not many cars pass by. It is a peaceful place. Next to my house, there is another house. It is a bit old. The paint is old. It is a blue house. Mrs. Gable lives in the blue house. Mrs. Gable was my neighbor. She was a very quiet woman. Very, very quiet. I almost never saw her. When I moved to my yellow house, I was happy. I wanted to meet my neighbors. I met Mr. Jones from across the street. He was friendly. He waved. He said, "Welcome." I met the family with 2 children on the other side. They smiled. Their children played in their yard. They made happy noises. But Mrs. Gable, she was different. Her house was always silent. The curtains on her windows were always closed. Always. Even on sunny days, I saw the postman leave letters in her mailbox. Later, the letters would be gone. So, I knew someone was there. I knew Mrs. Gable was there. Sometimes I would be in my garden. I would see a curtain move a little. Just a tiny bit. I thought maybe she was looking out. But I never saw her face clearly. Not then. I tried to be friendly. One morning, I was watering my flowers. I saw the front door of Mrs. Gable's house open just a little. I saw a hand, an old hand. It quickly took in a milk bottle. I smiled. I said, "Good morning, Mrs. Gable." My voice was soft. I did not want to scare her. The door closed very fast. Click. I stood there with my watering can. I felt a little sad. Oh, I thought, maybe she did not hear me. Or maybe she did not want to talk. Some people are like that. They like to be alone. I understand that. Sometimes I like to be alone too, with my books and my thoughts. It's okay. But Mrs. Gable never talked to anyone. Not to Mr. Jones. Not to the family with children. She was a mystery. Our quiet, mysterious neighbor. I often wondered about her. What was her life like? Was she happy? Did she have family? I did not know. My life was simple. I worked at a small library in our town. I love books. I love the smell of old books. And new books, too. I helped people find stories. I helped children find picture books. It was a good job. It was a quiet job. Maybe that's why I understood quiet people a little. Days passed. Weeks passed. Months passed. Mrs. Gable was still my quiet neighbor. I would say hello to her closed door sometimes, just in case. I would say, "I hope you have a good day, Mrs. Gable." I didn't know if she heard me, but it felt like the right thing to do. Then, one evening, something happened. It was autumn. The leaves on the trees were red and gold. The air was cool. I was in my kitchen. I was making tea. My kitchen window faces Mrs. Gable's house. Suddenly, I heard a noise. A strange noise. It came from her house. My heart went thump. What was that? It was not a loud noise. It was soft. At first I thought it was the wind, or maybe a cat. But it was different. It was musical. Yes, it sounded like music, but not like any music I knew from the radio. It was slow and a little sad. It was very beautiful. I stood very still. I listened. The music played for a few minutes, then it stopped. Everything was quiet again. Just the wind in the trees. What was that? I whispered to my teacup. The next evening I heard it again. The same strange, beautiful music. It made me feel thoughtful. I tried to imagine Mrs. Gable. Quiet Mrs. Gable. Playing music? It was hard to picture. I had only seen her hand. And a shadow behind a curtain. This music became a little secret. My secret. I did not tell anyone. I would listen in the evenings. Sometimes it was sad. Sometimes it was a little bit joyful, like a shy smile. It was always beautiful. The music made me feel closer to Mrs. Gable, even though we never talked. Started to worry a little too. Was she okay? Was she lonely? Music can be a friend when you are lonely. I know that. When I feel lonely, I read a book. Or I listen to music. It helps. Maybe the music was Mrs. Gable's friend. One Saturday, I baked cookies, chocolate chip cookies, my favorite. The house smelled so good. I had an idea, a brave idea. Maybe, I thought, I can give some cookies to Mrs. Gable. It was a simple idea, a neighborly idea. I put 6 cookies on a pretty plate. I covered them with a clean napkin. I took a deep breath. You can do this, Clara, I told myself. It's okay to feel a little nervous. Sometimes new things are a bit scary, even small things. I walked out of my yellow house. I walked to Mrs. Gable's blue house. Her house looked even quieter in the daylight. The curtains were still closed. I stood at her front door. My heart was beating fast. Thump, thump, thump. Like a little drum. I raised my hand to knock. But then, I heard the music. Her music. It was playing softly from inside the house. It was a very gentle melody today. I stopped. My hand was still in the air. She is busy, I thought. She is playing her music. Maybe she does not want to be disturbed. I felt unsure. What if she didn't like cookies? What if she didn't like visitors at all? I stood there for a long moment. The music was so lovely. It wrapped around me like a soft blanket. I slowly lowered my hand. I turned around. I walked back to my yellow house with the plate of cookies. I went inside. I sat at my kitchen table. I ate 3 cookies. They were very good, warm and sweet, but I felt a little disappointed. Disappointed in myself. Maybe next time, Clara, I said. Maybe next time you will be braver. Life continued. I went to the library. I watered my flowers. And almost every evening I listened to Mrs. Gable's music. It was like a hidden treasure next door. Then, one Tuesday, there was a big storm. The wind was very strong. It howled like a wolf. The rain hit my windows hard. Tap, tap, tap. I was a little scared. Storms always made me feel small. I made sure my windows were closed. I made some hot soup. I sat with a book, but I could not read. I kept thinking about Mrs. Gable. Her house was old. Was she all right in this strong storm? The storm lasted for many hours. Late at night, the wind finally grew tired. The rain became soft. I looked out my window. It was dark. The streetlights made long shadows. In the morning, the sun came out. The sky was clean and blue. I went outside to check my garden. Some leaves were on the ground. A small flower pot was turned over. Not too bad. Then I looked at Mrs. Gable's house. My heart jumped into my throat. A very big branch from the old oak tree in her yard had fallen. It was a huge branch. It had fallen right next to her house, very close to a window I had never seen open. "Oh no," I said out loud. "The music." I remembered. Mrs. Gable always played her music in the evenings, but last night during the storm, I had not heard any music. Not a single note. Was she hurt? Was she scared? Was her house damaged? I knew I had to do something. I could not just stand here. This was not like offering cookies. This was important. This time, Clara, I told myself, this time you must be brave. Really brave. I walked quickly to her front door. I did not even think about it too much. If I thought too much, I might get scared again. I knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. I waited. Silence. Only the sound of birds singing in the trees. I knocked again. Louder this time. "Mrs. Gable?" I called out. "Are you okay?" I waited. My hands felt cold. My heart was beating very fast again. What if she didn't answer? What should I do then? Call Mr. Jones? Call someone for help? Then I heard a small sound, a tiny click. The door opened. Just a little tiny bit. I saw an eye, a blue eye. It looked at me. It was Mrs. Gable. She looked older than I imagined. Her hair was white. Her face had many lines, but her eye was clear and a little bit frightened. "Mrs. Gable?" I said softly. "I am Clara, your neighbor." She just looked at me. "The big tree branch," I said. "It fell in your yard. Are you all right? Is your house okay?" Her eye moved a little, as if she was looking past me towards the tree. Then she spoke. Her voice was like a tiny whisper, so soft I almost missed it. "The tree," she said. "Yes," I said. "It's a very big branch. It looks close to your window." She was silent for a moment. She looked at me. Then she looked down. I thought she would close the door. I prepared myself for it, but she didn't. Instead, she opened the door a little more, just enough for me to see her small, frail body. She was wearing a simple dark dress. "Come," she whispered. It was not a full word, more like a breath. "See." I was surprised, very surprised. She wanted me to come in? "Mrs. Gable?" I took a small step, then another. I was inside Mrs. Gable's house. It was not what I expected. Thought it would be dark and dusty and maybe sad, but it was not. The hallway was small, but at the end of the hallway, there was a room. And this room was full of light, soft light. It came from a large window at the back, the window that the tree branch had nearly hit. And the room? Oh, the room. It was full of colors, bright colors, wonderful colors. Everywhere I looked, there were paintings. Paintings on the walls, paintings leaning against chairs, paintings on easels, big paintings, small paintings, paintings of bright flowers like the ones in my garden, but bigger and bolder, paintings of starry nights with swirling galaxies of blue and silver, paintings of deep oceans with mysterious creatures hidden in the shadows. They were beautiful. So beautiful. My mouth fell open a little. I could not speak. And there, in the middle of this amazing room, was a cello. A beautiful, dark brown cello. It was standing on a small rug. Its bow was resting on a music stand. The music. Her music. This was where it came from. Mrs. Gable played the cello. And Mrs. Gable painted these incredible pictures. She watched my face. Her blue eyes were anxious. I finally found my voice. Mrs. Gable, I said, my voice full of wonder. This is amazing. Your paintings, they are so beautiful. A tiny smile appeared on her lips. A very small, shy smile. But it was a smile. Thank you, Clara, she said. Her voice was still soft, but a little stronger now. She knew my name. All this time, she knew my name. My heart felt warm. And the music, I continued, the cello, that was you, every evening? She nodded. Yes, I play. It helps me. It's wonderful music, I said. I listen to it sometimes from my kitchen. Her smile grew a tiny bit wider. You do? Yes, I said. It's like a gift. We stood there for a moment. The sunlight from the back window made dust motes dance in the air. The room smelled of paint and old wood and something sweet, like dried flowers. It was a magical place. The branch, she said, looking towards the window. It made a loud noise. It frightened me. I was worried about you, I told her. We walked closer to the window. The big branch was very close. Some small twigs were touching the glass, but the window was not broken. It was lucky, I said. Yes, she agreed. Very lucky. I used to paint a lot, Mrs. Gable said, looking at her paintings. And play. My husband, Arthur, he loved my music. He loved my paintings. Her voice trembled a little. He passed away. A few years ago. Oh, Mrs. Gable, I said gently. I am so sorry, she nodded. After he was gone, it was hard. The house felt so empty, so quiet. I closed the curtains. I did not want to see anyone. I did not want to talk. I understood. Grief can be like a heavy blanket. It can make you want to hide from the world. It's okay to feel that way. It takes time. The music, she continued, touching her cello softly, and the colors. They were my friends. They kept me company. They are beautiful friends, I said. She looked at me. I was afraid. Afraid people would not like them. Afraid they would laugh or think I was strange. Strange? I said. No, Mrs. Gable. They are expressions of you. They are full of feeling, full of life. She looked down at her hands. You are very kind, Clara. You are very talented, Mrs. Gable, I replied, and I meant it. We talked for a little while longer. She told me about Arthur. He was a gardener. He loved roses. Many of her paintings had roses in them. She told me she started painting when she was a little girl, and she learned the cello from her grandfather. Her secret was not scary. It was beautiful. It was a whole world of art and music hidden behind closed curtains. I offered to help with the tree branch. I can call Mr. Jones, I said. He is strong. He has tools. Mrs. Gable hesitated. Then she nodded. That would be kind. So I went and got Mr. Jones. He was surprised to see me come from Mrs. Gable's house. He was even more surprised when Mrs. Gable invited him in. He helped cut the large branch into smaller pieces. I helped carry the smaller twigs away. Mrs. Gable made us tea, real tea in china cups. We sat in her colorful room. Mr. Jones looked at the paintings with wide eyes. Well, I'll be, he said. Mrs. Gable, you're a real artist. She blushed a little, a soft pink color on her cheeks. It was lovely to see. After that day, things changed, slowly, but they changed. Mrs. Gable did not open all her curtains, not right away, but sometimes one or two would be open. I would see her inside, painting, by the window, or just sitting looking out at her garden. Her garden was a bit wild, but it had charm. Sometimes, when I was in my garden, she would open her back door. Clara? She would call, her voice a little stronger each time. Yes, Mrs. Gable? I would answer, smiling. Would you like some tea? And I would go over. We would sit in her art-filled room. We would talk about flowers or books or the weather. Or sometimes we would just sit in comfortable silence. She started playing her cello with the window open a little. The music drifted into my garden. It sounded happier now, more confident. It made me smile every time I heard it. One day she showed me a new painting. It was of my yellow house and my little garden with the red, blue, and yellow flowers. Oh, Mrs. Gable, I cried. It's beautiful. You painted my house. You have been a good neighbor, Clara, she said. A good friend. My heart felt so full. I think my eyes got a little teary, happy tears. I learned something important from Mrs. Gable. I learned that quiet people often have the most beautiful worlds inside them. You just need to be patient and kind. I learned that it's okay to be shy or afraid. Many people feel that way, but a little bit of courage, a small step forward, can change everything, for you and for someone else. I learned that reaching out, even with a simple hello or a plate of cookies, even if you don't deliver them the first time, can open doors. Maybe not right away, but eventually. Mrs. Gable's secret was her art, her music, her memories. It was a secret she kept because she was afraid. But when she shared it, it brought light. It brought friendship. It brought her out of her quiet shell, little by little, and it brought me a wonderful friend. Sometimes I think about that first strange noise I heard, that beautiful, sad music. It was a call, a quiet call from a lonely heart. I am so glad I listened. I am so glad I was finally brave enough to knock on her door because of a fallen tree. Life is full of quiet people. Maybe you know someone like Mrs. Gable. Maybe they live next door to you. Or maybe sometimes you feel a little quiet and hidden too. That's okay. Everyone has their own story, their own music, their own colors inside. Don't be afraid to show your colors, and don't be afraid to be kind to others. A little kindness can make a big difference. It can uncover a beautiful secret. It can build a bridge, like the bridge between my little yellow house and Mrs. Gable's blue house. A bridge made of music and paintings and shared cups of tea. And that, I think, is a very good thing. You can do this too. You can be a good neighbor. You can find the beauty in the quiet places. Just try. You might be surprised by what you discover.